how do you double your output as a busy business owner? Now, you're probably running around all over the shop, putting out a million fires, leading your team, trying to do your marketing, trying to do your sales, service your clients, and all of that kind of stuff. Rewind a few years ago, I was in that exact same situation. I had bootstrapped a small marketing company from scratch. We were serving probably about 5 or 6 clients, but there was just so much work involved in trying to grow the business and trying to service the clients and trying to keep my sanity. So I wanted to share with you an idea and also a framework to help you double your output and help you go and grow your business by working less hours. There's a core principle behind this, right? The idea is that as a business owner, we should have an effective hourly rate or a rate that we associate to our actual time in the business. If your effective hourly rate, for example, is $50 or $100, the idea is that you should not be doing anything that's worth less than that per hour. How do you go and then use that principle and to double your business or to grow your business? The number one thing I'd recommend is to go and hire great virtual assistants. Some people kind of get this confused. They might have heard stories about horror shows with virtual assistants, or they might have had other people in the network that said it doesn't work. Let me tell you this right now. Hiring great VAs has been the number one reason my business was able to grow from 10K a month to where it is now. We hire a bunch of people in the Philippines. Our team is currently at about 20 strong, and most of them are based in the Philippines. And they're just amazing, amazing people, right? They're loyal, they're hardworking, they're dedicated, and they genuinely want the best for the business. With that being said, we know that we want to get extra help. We know that we might be limited in terms of budget because we are a smaller company. And so if your budget and your margins are tight, rather than not growing, why don't we get amazing help to grow? So the next question is, well, how do we do that, right? How do we go and hire amazing team members? After hiring probably about 100 people for ourselves and for some of our clients that have asked us, how do you get amazing people? I wanted to give you our framework for hiring A-class employees and team members who just take your business and grow it to the next level. In terms of the process itself, I think about 3 stages. 1 is pre-hire, 2 is the testing, and 3 is hire. And I might even give you a bonus step, which is for keeping them long-term and communicating and growing with them. So let's start at the very beginning though, right? What do you do or where do you go to find these people in the first place? So there's a million different sites you can visit to find these people or to get in front of them. Things like Upwork, Fiverr. My favorite is probably onlinejobs.ph. That's where we go to start sourcing the talent. In the first step, you've also got to write up a job description. And I'll give you a little trick here or a little tip here, I should say, that can help you really shortcut the screening process. What we do when we write up a job description is we talk about the role they're gonna go into, the tasks that they're gonna do, but we also put an Easter egg in there. And what I mean by that is about 3/4 of the way down the page, we'll put an instruction saying, hey, if you've actually read this listing properly, please put the following phrase in your application, or please put this into the title. So you could have something silly like, fudge brownies or whatever it is you choose. I've got a certain phrase that I like to use, but what that does is it helps to cut down your application time so that you know that the people have read through it carefully and they've actually read your job description. Now, what we do is if someone does not reply with that, we don't even read the application. So that's gonna save you hours and hours of time filtering through people who haven't even bothered to really understand the role and what you're looking for. From that point onwards, we're gonna look at the resumes of people who have replied with the right Easter egg question. And from that point on, we then look at examples or resumes or just general communication things that we think helps the person to stand out. We then shortlist about 10 to 20 people for a role. For example, a virtual general assistant role, we might have a set task, and we shortlist 10 to 20 of them and pay them to do a set task. The payment is only for about 2 hours of work, but it gives you enough time to go through and look at what output you get back from those people. At this step, you're probably gonna lose half of the shortlisted applications, right? So if you had 10 people apply, 10 people that you think, hey, these people look really good, or they could be a good fit, 5 of them will probably drop off and they won't even do your test task, even though you're paying them. Now, from the other 5, you'll probably find 2 or 3 that have really good output and 2 or 3 that just aren't quite there yet. Now is when we go through to the next step, right? The hiring process. When we get the test task back and we see the 2 or 3 people that are really good, what I generally like to do is to hire 2 or 3 of the people for a 2-week project length. And so what that allows you to do is actually see what they like to work with, right? How do they communicate? Are they who they say they are? Can they do the skills, or can they do the output or the technical stuff that you need them to do? Having a 2-week process means that it's enough time for them to show their personality, to bring themselves to the job, to learn the roles they need to do, and for you to judge, hey, do I even want to work with these people? At the end of the cycle, at the end of the 2 weeks, you've then got a choice. You can decide to hire one of them or more of them if you have the capacity or the budget. So for instance, we went and hired some graphic designers recently, and we followed this exact process and found 2 that were just absolutely amazing. And so rather than trying to make a choice, we knew that we've got growth coming through. We knew that we've got, we know that we've got more things coming in the pipeline. We decided, hey, why don't we hire them for a longer stint, or both of them, I should say. That's great if you can do that, but if not, hey, pick the one that you like best. The bonus bit, right, off the back of that, because it's actually pretty easy to hire these people, but how do you keep them in your business? How do you keep them dedicated and loyal and just really enjoying working with you? Well, it all comes down to communications. And I'll probably do a longer video on this sometime down the track in terms of the working culture, how you communicate, but it really is about trying to bring them up, right? So trying to explaining, I should say, your decisions or why you like certain things in a certain way. Here's the thing, you're not perfect. It took you time to learn the skills you need to get your business to where it is now. So don't expect that of others. Give them patience, give them coaching, give them the ability to upskill and learn to get to where you want them to go. And if you put your trust in them, if you pay it forward, if you give them a little bit of help to get to where you want them to go, they'll stay with you for years and years and just be some of your best employees ever. So if you're a busy business owner and you want to double your output, potentially what you can do is think about outsourcing to somewhere like the Philippines, getting amazing team members, taking out all the tasks that aren't really worth your time, but are super annoying, or that are keeping you from doing what you should be doing, and building your team that way. I've done it in the past to grow my business, and I think it's going to work for you too. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, or if you want any other parts of the framework. Happy to share those resources with you as well.